I'm now going to invite you to start your pitch. Over to you.
Good morning, all. My name is Andrew Huerta Galicia, and I'm presenting today with Toby Hayden on behalf of our team. We are excited to present our project, First Nations Claims Data Optimization, leveraging artificial intelligence. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge that we are presenting today from the unceded, unsurrendered territory of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people. And our team is joining you from different Indigenous territories across Canada. Our team is comprised of individuals from various disciplines, including industry expertise, data science, user experience design, communications, and project management. The Government of Canada is committed to resolving First Nations historic grievances. Since the inception of the Specific Claims Program in 1973, there have been 702 settlements across Canada, resulting in an economic impact of $13.9 billion. The financial investment that the government has made through claims enabled nations to invest in the well-being of their communities while working towards addressing difficult moments in Canadian history. This contributes to the government's reconciliation agenda and supports a renewed relationship between the Crown and First Nation peoples. Once a claim is accepted by Canada for negotiation, the process commences, and reports and appraisals are typically commissioned as part of the Crown's due diligence, which can take months and even years. Instead, negotiators can retrieve and use comparable datasets to negotiate compensation. The current analysis experience for a negotiator is non-linear. Teams must search and retrieve documents from multiple locations, including manually searching through GC docs, filtering through fragmented directories to download hundreds of pages of physical and virtual materials. This process is labor-intensive, time-consuming, and prone to human error. Let us consider the impact of claims now. The current policy framework for the resolution of claims is 3 years. However, the median negotiation time is about 5 years. The cost to the government to negotiate each year is roughly $26 million. Over a median 5-year period, this accumulates to $130 million. However, our costs don't stop there. Delayed settlement does result in increased cost. To get a sense of the impact, inflation accounts for an increase of liability of approximately $8 million daily. $8 million daily. If efficiencies could be realized by leveraging technologies could expedite negotiations. Such an approach would not only reduce the financial strain on the government, but also hasten redress for the communities involved.
We are pitching big but scoping small. As we know, traditional search systems use keywords to find data. We propose to leverage AI in our current tools and strengthen search functionality through systematic search to retrieve text, data, and tables. The process will include AI-driven information extraction, including optical character recognition, OCR. On the front end, this may require some manual data labeling from our analysts, where they will tag reports with keywords including date, province, subject, and other captions to train the system. Ultimately, once the model is implemented, our data scientists anticipate that the AI model will automatically label new and unseen reports based on the training data. But that's not all. We will build additional capacity for reporting using AI for information extraction to fetch content tables and feed to Power BI. So what does this mean? It means that claims employees will not only have existing records compiled via generative AI, but also quantitative data to easily use and understand dashboards. The doors previously closed are now open. We're going to start with a quick SWOT analysis. So strengths include trusted, accountable government services and support for Indigenous communities and modernized public service. Weaknesses, protected bee privacy and access, just to name a few. Opportunities include evidence-informed decision-making, increased access to government data, operations, and digital efficiencies. Threats are AI bias and hallucinations. Now, we are going to be using Blue Ocean strategy as the framework and mindset and method to drive our project development. In doing so, we focus on AI optimized user experience. We've utilized design thinking to craft a solution specifically by starting with our end user in mind. As you can see from the visual, value innovation takes precedent over competing blindly. With simultaneous focus on customization, on the need and cost effectiveness, we focus on the big picture, not the numbers, and we consider fair and ethical processes along the way. We do this with 4 things. 1, we eliminate the need to perform manual search, loss in time, resources, and accessibility. 2, we reduce claim completion time, duplication of time, resources, and work. 3, we're going to increase data quality, service quality, productivity, department's capacity to build for tomorrow. And 4, we're going to raise the searchable database, increase analytics, interoperability, and ability to perform high-end quantitative search. Now, we have estimated that this project is going to take 12 to 26 months, and a rough estimate is that it would require 2 data scientists, 1 data officer, 1 information architect, 2 programmers, a CRM. Additional costs include procurement, ATIP, legal, digital literacy awareness, and training. Our initial cost is estimated at 2 to 3 million, which is actually pretty good when you consider $8 million is spent annually on inflation and 8 million daily on inflation and 26 annually in negotiations. So this is less than 10% of the project on annual costs. Stakeholder engagement is a critical component and a key to our success. We've identified several teams internally within ISC and CERNAC that will benefit from this. We've connected with Microsoft giants such as such as Microsoft and IBM to leverage their capacities. We've also connected internally for coaching and guidance, reached out externally to libraries and archives, Stats Canada, PCO, NRCC, just to name a few. We believe that we have gathered support through partnership engagement and the focus on UX. We're going to deliver phenomenal product with enhanced government operations. The possibilities have just started and are endless. Our proposal has been developed with data in mind, decision-making enablement, optimization, data-driven solutions, and of course, the empowerment of government employees and public service. We recognize we're not the first to propose this strategy. However, our project is positioned perfectly to benefit from others' action before us. We are going to benefit from lessons learned, projects, technology, AI, international discourse on the ethical use of AI, and given us the advantage of a reduction in risk, costs, and an increase of resources and opportunities. Also, in terms of timing, ISC and CERNAC are both evolving in terms of their systems. CERNAC is developing their CDO and in process of releasing their first data strategy. ISC has released their data strategy and is currently implementing policies process, including governance, and many other innovative projects. So the timing is indeed right. Throughout the last 3 months, we've performed great extensive search, including mandates, guidelines on the generative use of AI, digital standards, and metadata, to name a few. We've incorporated fair practices, findable, accessible, interoperable. We've taken in consideration AI ethics, and we're focusing on a human-centric approach and design. Now let us take you on a demo.
The prototype showcases semantic search functionality across a sample of searchable PDF reports focused on Indigenous topics. The team cleaned, prepared, and filtered 1,500 reports. Let us begin with a search query, land calculation errors. The tool enables you to adjust the threshold to broaden the search. While the initial hit directly relates to our keywords, we can also observe some changes at the bottom of the results. If information is required for a particular typology, we can ask queries regarding farmland claims, for instance. The tool not only enables the user to find information, but also targets extraction and conversion into a usable format. We have more goals in mind, like retrieving tables and maps. This will help analysts to process claims more efficiently.
So our project is indeed scalable, cost-effective, efficient, and offers a wide range of versatility and usability across the Government of Canada. In closing, choosing us means to choose a winning solution, which brings together expertise, resources, lessons learned, partnership, and of course will build fundamental changes across CERNAC and the Government of Canada. So pause for a moment and ask yourself, do you want to work with a MySpace or a Facebook? Do you want to work with Yahoo or a Google? Do you want to work with Jasper or a ChatGPT? With $8 million a day spent on inflation alone, how can we not afford to start this project? Are you ready to set sail into our limitless blue oceans of potential?
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that presentation. I'm going to invite you to stop sharing your screen, and any members of your team who want to put their cameras on now can do so. Thank you to all of you, and I'm going to come straight over to the judges. Who would like to put the first question to this team? Wesley, coming over to you.
Thanks for this. Really interesting. I think that there's a need for this. I wonder though I'll say it anyways. Microsoft Copilot is making advances every day. I hear Microsoft Copilot is going to change everything we do. Is this somewhat related, or would Microsoft Copilot be an option to this type of stuff?
Thanks, Wesley. Who would like to take that first question on the team? Toby, can I throw that to you?
Thank you. I would actually throw that one over to Ben at the moment.
Okay, Ben. Ben, we can't hear you. I don't know if you're on mute. It doesn't look like you're
Sorry.
on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for the question. Yes. So I think we didn't talk about it, but we are targeting to have documents in protected B that are sensitive. So in order to use Copilot, we need to, to do the approvals needed to that. But also that will depend on the number of reports that we can have. And maybe using just Copilot for this will be like killing a fly with a bazooka, because I don't think we have that huge information to do a RAG, a retrieve augmented generation. And on this pilot, on the demo we show, we use just simpler models that could get a good balance between accuracy and costing. So because we know that OpenAI services are very costly and maybe we don't need it. This is I think what we can assess in the future.
Thanks, Ben. Yes, Gabrielle.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for the presentation. Really appreciate the proposal today. Wanted to get an understanding of that little journey. So I was thinking about your little person walking through. You're bringing together previous claim information, and then you're talking about sort of that historical data in a textual format. Is this all, and to the point that this is possibly protected B information, but bringing this all together, will you ingest that into your large language model, and are you going to create all the meta tags? Have you thought about some of the sort of process pieces around that? I'm just sort of wondering how you're aggregating this data for being ingested into your model. Thanks.
Thank you. Who is best placed to take that question? Ben, coming to you again.
Yeah, again, it's really quickly. For this demo, we use public data because we don't have the permissions to use the real data. But yeah, the idea is to use that protected B information to be able to retrieve meaningful information for past claims, but also from historical documents. So yeah, that's on the scope. I don't know if that answers your question, but we are not using LLMs at this point.
Sure.
I want to clarify that.
Toby, you wanted to come in as well.
So we are focused internally, and we are hoping to use this as an internal solution. So protected B is definitely a component of that, but we are also following the government guidelines in terms of tagging, language, metadata. But before we do that, and we've actually, because you see our team is diverse, we have Stats Canada, Health Canada, we've actually also already positioned or submitted the request to have access to the information and see what steps could go forward within memorandums of understanding. So we are geared up, and we're aiming at following all government policy procedures.
Thanks, Toby.
And just to note, Andrea has also recruited individuals from the end user experience in order to make sure that we have optimal tags that are reflective of their daily needs. And the system is reflective of that as well.
Thanks. Judges, I'm coming back to you for the next question. Who would like to ask the next question? Erica.
Thanks for the presentation. Sorry, I might have missed some of your points on the slide where you laid out the user journey of before and kind of after. So my question is, you are amalgamating historical data and decisions, I'm assuming, and in your training the AI model to assist the user in a certain way in terms of making a decision. I'm curious to find out, and since you have mentioned the security level of information and ethics with respect to using AI related tools, so where does the human interaction start and stop, and where does the machine assisted decision making start and stop? Just trying to get a sense of, does the machine simply present you with the information and a human makes that determination, or are you relying on machine recommending a decision that could influence a human decision? And if that's the latter, what kind of ethics consideration have you used to safeguard that boundary?
Can take that one, Toby, from an operational point of view. So, just to give you a bit of a context in the world that we negotiate in, the courts tell us that negotiation is less about calculating and having a calculator of losses, but more about interpreting the balance of what actually happened in the history of the claim and the legal arguments that we have relating to risk, and also the economics, what the loss that the community went through actually was in reality. So it's very hard to create a tool that would do that type of assessment and determination, given the balance of all of those factors. So it would always be a negotiation team that's looking at the tool as this one particular source of information that we could look like and take that into consideration with all the legal assessments that we get from the Department of Justice, with our internal policies when it comes to applying equitable compensation principles. So it's more of a tool that on our daily basis helps us get more data so we can make those decision-based decisions, but decision-based recommendations to management. But at the end of the day, it's very much limited in the scope of the information it can provide, and the application is always left to the end user and our internal policies and guidelines.
Thanks. And Toby, you wanted to come in as well.
Yes, thank you. So AI in the search capacities is a phenomenal component, but not only that, our data scientists are relatively confident that they can take these documents, and within these documents, there are sometimes a couple of hundred pages, and there are charts that need to be converted into an Excel document. So this is a part of the project that we're also incorporating. And then we're ending with Power BI, and we actually have a Power BI dashboard ready that we would like to share, just to show the end user and how the whole flow of automation has. So if Phil could just jump on and share his screen quickly, then I think that would help to show how we've thought to integrate the human component along the way. And even while we're piloting or testing our pilot that we presented today, the human structure and the component and the integration was there the whole time. Phil?
Just sharing my screen. Let me know if you can see it.
Yep, that's good. Thanks, Phil.
Great. So to add to both Hayden, what Toby and Andrew were saying, in terms of the interface and giving all of this data and getting it more structured, this is an example of a UI that could exist where, for example, you're looking at a claim that came in where they're looking for flooding, a claim about flooding in their region. Well, you can just take a quick look, free text search for flood. It would give you the amount of claims that have happened historically. So you've got your N in terms of the analysis there, broken down by provinces. So if you're looking at a specific claim in a specific region, you can take a look at, okay, historically in that region, how much has the federal government given out for similar claims in that region? What size are they usually? So you can give a general idea of all of that information. How old the claims are. So say you're looking at a claim from the 1800s. Well, you can actually take a look at the amount of flood claims from the early 1800s. And again, those breakdowns by provinces. So just trying to get more apples to apples comparison, have an idea of what historically the numbers are to help with the analysis. So
great. Phil, thank you so much. Toby, did you
And
want to?
Yeah, and that's just it, because we are throughout this whole thing using AI to optimize on operations and accessibility. And honestly, we're really going to improve employee satisfaction and the speed. So I think that we're really utilizing the fact that other departments have made such great advancements, and Microsoft and IBM, but we can take these resources and we can build a complete journey for the end user that it also can go all the way up to like reporting to the ADM on a good human-centric but cost-effective model.
Thank you so much, Toby. I'm conscious we are almost out of time. I just want to check before, do we have any other questions from the judges? Yes, coming over to you, Elise.
Thank you, Chauvin. Just a quick question on data integration. So if I understood correctly, you haven't trained your model yet, right? Like you're using publicly available data to demonstrate your work. Do you foresee, what kind of challenges do you foresee in terms of data standard, data, all the integration of these things? Like that's often underestimated, I would think, in the data project I've worked on.
I'm going to jump on this for a moment, sorry. So again, part of our strategy, Blue Ocean strategy, a late mover advantage is we've connected internally with ISC and CERNAC. We're hoping for revenue from the government of Canada, but we've connected with these individuals. We've read things, we've connected with, for example, the Court Administrative Services is doing a translation one that's public, but they want to look at doing internal afterwards. We've connected with, NRCC's Digital Accelerator Program, and they are currently also working with internal. So I think Government of Canada wide, we are all trying to do this, and we're all trying to bear in mind the importance of ethical and the standards. And it's how can we come together and take the best of that and make sure that we're providing a clean, clear solution that is also ethical and operationally efficient. I know that ISC has been really at the forefront of like service standards and like making sure that our project is actually in line with government regulations, and we're very thankful for that guidance. And that's why we are using public data at this moment instead.
Thanks, Toby. Anyone else from the team want to come in before we close? No, any final? Yes, Dominic.
I'll just ask a really quick one. Does the model plan to be connected directly to GC Docs, or are you having to extract all those 800 type documents into another repository?
I love that question because we hung out with GC Docs too. So there is possibility for GC Docs integration. We're not closing any doors. We've actually seen multiple solutions, and GC Docs is starting to win me over. I got it, and I know that there's other solutions. Trust me, I'm also a SharePoint person, but honestly, I'm a data person. Nobody's fixed my data problem yet, so I don't have any loyalty, but I know that operational efficiency is important, and especially because our history goes past over 600 years, not working with GC Docs, who has the Bible of linguistics. How did they do the integration and follow that throughout time would just make our project irrelevant. So there is the 100% opportunity that I think that we can build a bridge there. But the idea is, and what I'm hearing is, we're not just building a bridge, we're keeping doors open in ethical, safe environments that are government proven and tested. But there are opportunities, and that's what makes, again, our timing and our process key, because we are there. We've connected with the team players, and we're asking the hard questions, and we're doing the hard work.
Thanks, Toby. Unless anyone else has anything else, I think our time is up. So thank you so much to Team 4. Great presentation, really, really interesting topic as well. I'm now going to invite you to leave the call. Thank you and good luck to all of you. Thanks so much. And judges, thank you. Bye, everyone. And judges, we now have until 12 o'clock. Our next pitch will start at 12 o'clock, and the team will come in a few minutes before that for me just to talk them through everything.